And now we move on to, I really can't do anything about that, can I? No, we move on to Malin. So we are now doing the last session of today, and I hope you're all still awake. We are going to get a little bit of Nordic updates, so updates from the chapter, and then we are having a panel with IAAP organizational members talking about the benefits of being an organizational member. So we have... First, I don't think you need the microphone for... you need to talk a bit. Oh, sorry. I thought you had a... like this. No. Okay, but you need to stand here because otherwise you're in the way for the captions. So sorry for that.
So I hope you hear me. Hi, my name is Malin Hammarberg. I work at Funka Foundation, but I'm also part of the IAAP Nordic Advisory Council. And I had a big pleasure to be a part of the program committee for this event. But today I will talk about what we at IAAP Nordic are doing and the future. So we talked about this and we heard it both from HMM, sorry. So this is a picture of a power line and there is a bunch of birds on the power lines. And on one side, there's a school of birds sitting together, looking like they're interacting. And on the other side, there's this lonely bird. And it's kind of how a lot of accessibility experts feel, because we are maybe the only one in a large organization. And we push and we strive and we try to fix accessibility and inclusion or try to improve the knowledge. And we can feel rather lonely. And then that's where organization like IAAP can come in. So for me, it was a game changer. I was very alone in Gothenburg, like sincerely very alone. So I joined IAAP and I got kind of a community around myself. And I got to know not only accessibility experts in all the Nordic countries, but actually all over the world. So there's such a great network where you can exchange experience with world-leading experts, learning how they handle problems, feeling not that lonely anymore, but getting some friends with the same problems sometimes, and you can discuss and you can move forward because it's so refreshing to hear in stories like the one at H&M, to hear that kind of movement where we always need to look back and see what did we do right, what didn't we do right, and how move on. And getting that experience and change increases the level of knowledge around accessibility, right, all over the world. So, and that in the long term increases the inclusion and the support for users with different disabilities, and actually the support for each and every one of us, right? So. Joining IAAP also allows you to get access to different webinars and so discount on certifications. And a certification is a great thing as well. I got certified. It was a game changer because before I was certified, I was one of everyone talking about accessibility, and my word wasn't like weighing any heavier than the guy who had never worked with accessibility that was saying something differently from me. So getting the certification not only kind of gave me the courage to go past the imposter syndrome and say, oh, I really know this subject. I actually am certified now. You can listen to me. It also made my word mean a bit more, but the most and the best part was that my company started winning the most exciting procurements, and I got to do so much fun projects because we had the certification to prove it with. And we've seen that a lot of procurements around the Nordic countries actually require certified people in IAAP. And we also seen that recruitment advertisements starting to require the certifications. So if you're a member, you get a discount, but you also get access to Princeton course. That's a preparation course for CPAC. That's really good. and it's updated to the new CPAC version. And there's also a lot of accredited, sorry, can't express that word right now, training providers, like Funka Foundation, where I work. So that was a bit of unintended commercial for myself. We moved past that one and moved to the Book of Knowledge. I would really love to recommend the Book of Knowledge that we have at IAAP, because especially, I have said it so many times, I love the CPAC one. It's so, sorry, that's my phone. It's so filled with interesting topics and good knowledge, but also deep dive links. So you can learn even more if the Book of Knowledge information isn't enough. So even if you don't want to take the certification, I recommend those. And it's a great proof of competence. So IAAP has grown a lot. We have over 8,000 individual members. That might not seem that much, but we also have over 200 organizational members. An organization can be anything from 5 members to like tens of thousands, maybe?
Hundreds of thousands.
Hundreds of thousands members. So we are not quite sure how large that part is, but there's a lots of members, and it's really fun. And we are in more than 100 countries now. There are also 8 chapters, I think, now, because we got one new, maybe. Okay. So in Europe, we have the IAAP DACH chapter. DACH, I love to say that. It's the German-speaking chapter. We also have the IAAP UK chapter, and of course, the IAAP Nordic chapter, which includes Iceland, Norway, Finland, Denmark, and Sweden. And newly started is the IAAP French chapter, which is French-speaking chapter, and then they are about to start the Dutch chapter with Dutch-speaking members. Sorry, let's move on. So this is the Advisory Council. We are a very nice gang, and what we do is that we meet up every other month to discuss what do we need in the Nordics. And we talk about webinars, we talk about support, and we cover different sectors in different countries. We are from all different countries, except Iceland, sadly, no one from there. And we have all different sectors. So we are from public sector, private sector, banking sector, universities, not-for-profit organizations, and we try to listen to our members and see what we need. So, but we have discovered some areas where we need some help to improve. So if you want to be involved and be a part of this great community, we are looking for volunteers for IAAP Nordic's professional certification committees. This is because we have noticed that applying for certification seems to be harder than taking the certification itself. So we wanted to see if we can help out with some support, maybe doing videos or text or whatever. So if you feel strongly about this, please look this up. We are also looking for members to a member benefit committee, where we want to look at if we have the right member benefits, if we can improve them or give more information about them. And then we had the webinar and event committee that can bring together fun stuff like this. And next year we have been looking at topics like AI and support services. How does this work? How does it work together with accessibility? And we're looking at put together a panel with both the procurer and the tech and the end user, of course. We also talked about putting together a panel with end users, showing the end users' point of view, because we thought that was a while ago, like the ones we listened to today. Very great talks, I have to say. I'm missing one, but I can't remember that one right now, so I skip it. We have a QR code here, and if you don't like QR codes, you can go to IAAP Nordic's webpage, go to About Us and local committees, and you can read more what these exciting committees do. And then we have some upcoming events already tomorrow. I know you can't wait long enough. We have a great one about Nordic public broadcasting. This came about because we heard that a lot of people were talking about how do we create accessible broadcasting. So we have representatives from DR in Denmark, from SVT in Sweden, and from NRK in Norway. I think that will be an exciting webinar. You can find it under IAAP Nordic's What's Up in the bottom.
And Rachel is also posting the direct links in the chat, so it's...
Thank you. And then we had a workshop yesterday, and of course we want to report out on that workshops. And the 13th of February, in just about almost 1.5 weeks maybe, the EN Requirements Beyond VKG report will be a webinar. It will be Susanna, me, and Pete Kemeny that had one of the, we were the 3 facilitators. And okay, that was all. Thank you. I hope I did it in my set time.
Yes. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Malin. And now we are inviting our exquisite panel up to the so we can talk about the organizational membership. Can we have Annika and Timo? Yes, they are coming. That's very good. So oh, you are so quiet. That is how you know that you are in Finland, when we can have 3 people so close to you without, you can't even know that they're breathing. Yeah, so, well, welcome all 3 of you. So we have Timo Övermark, who is the lead UX and accessibility specialist from Q Factory. He also is a CPWA certification holder. We have Nadezhda Törnroos, who is an accessibility specialist and CPWA certified here at Tietoevry, and the reason we are all here, so thank you again for that. And then we have Annika Valtari, who is a UX and accessibility lead, also CPWA. Oh my God, these people. Certifications at Eficode. So 3 really good accessibility specialists from 3 different Finnish companies who are all organizational members of IAAP. So I'm interested in what the main reasons for your organizations to become members of IAAP. Annika, do you want to respond? What was the main reason?
Sure. I think that one of the main reasons for Eficode to join IAA was to, well, of course, prove our customers that we truly take accessibility seriously. It is something that we want to take into account in our everyday work, and that we are also like true professionals in accessibility. Maybe that's one of the reasons for on an organizational level, but also when we think about the accessibility professionals in our organization, it's very important for us to constantly develop our skills and knowledge level. And that's something that as an organizational member, our professionals are able to do whenever they want, because we have a team roster on our member account. So we can add accessibility professionals to our team roster. And after that, they will be able to participate in the webinars, take some preparation courses if they want to take the CPAC exam, ask online, do all that when they are part of our membership program, the roster.
So I just wanted to say, because I've noticed that the word roster is not always known. So we have like a membership, organizational membership is a number of seats. So meaning the number of people who can access the member benefits. And that is what we are calling a roster. So people were telling me, what's the roaster? Isn't that a chicken? Well, so if you would kindly leave the microphone to Timo, so he has a chance to also respond to the question. What's the main reason for your organization to become an organizational member?
So actually my organization, my 3 previous employers have become members of IAAP already. And I think the main reason was that we, as Annika told, that it will give a message to the public that we as an organization care about accessibility, and we have accessibility professionals in the company, but also that gives a lot to the employees so that they get support and they have a community and they have a larger community also. So, for example, when I worked in the Finnish Association for People with Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities, we had an accessibility team of maybe around 2 people. So that was not a proper community. And when joining IAAP, then you get access to the forums. You can ask questions there and get support there. And also, maybe we can talk about certification more about later, but that's a very important benefit also to be able to show your expertise and to convince your potential customers also that you actually know what you're doing, and being able to have a certificate and like a guarantee that you have taken the test and you know your things.
Okay, so marketing reasons and kind of staff or employment benefits, so to speak, are 2 main things. So for Tietoevry, Nadezhda, what was your...
Yes, we probably have similar reasons. So we would like to support our customers through our professionalism and accessibility, but we joined IAAP organization more than 3 years ago, and I think that was driven by a personal commitment to accessibility. So we started with 6 seats within
like
IAAP.
24,000 staff or something.
Yeah, well, it was a long time ago. So yeah, we extend our membership. So we have more seats. I will not tell how many, but we definitely having increasing interest in certifications, like by our employees. And also, I think with the upcoming European Accessibility Act, we definitely see the demand from the customers, like high demand for exactly certified specialists. And there is a demand for certified specialists from IAAP because it's internationally recognized. So it's a both ways, as I said. It's a personal driven because we have many passionate people in accessibility in the organization. And it's also driven by demand of our customers.
I was kind of hoping somebody would say that we want to join because we want to make sure that the accessibility community is thriving and we want to expand on this. No, it's just commercial. Okay, well, you can't get everything, I guess. So what benefits do you appreciate most yourself? Timo, if we start with you, since you have the microphone now.
Yeah, I think being able to access the community is one significant one, and because certification is important to be able to work as an accessibility professional, especially in Finland, because we have public procurement processes, and because certification is one way to show that you have the expertise required for a project, then you need to be certified to be able to do those kinds of projects. And as an organization, when we are a member, we get of course, the discount when taking the exam. We get the body of knowledge, and we get discounts also for courses to prepare for the certification exam. That's also one important benefit. And yeah, the ability to, of course, after the certification, after you have taken the test and you get the certification, then you need to maintain it also. So you need to participate in a certain amount of, for example, events like this, or watch webinars and gain these points to make sure that you can maintain the certificate and can have it after every 3 years. You have to get a certain amount of hours in events like this. So being able to access the webinars IAAP provides and those kinds of things. So yeah. many things, but yeah, those are probably the most important.
Yeah. So just to clarify, so the body of knowledge is free of charge and open publicly to everyone. So you do not need to be a member to access the body of knowledge. That is something that is provided on the website, free for everyone. So anyone can read what you need to know to get the certifications. And also another question that I usually get or often get is, do you have to be a member to become certified? And no, those are two different things. So you can become a member and you can be certified. That doesn't go together. It's just the benefit of the discount, but we don't require membership before getting certified. So Annika, what of the member benefits do you like most?
Well, all of those mentioned by Timo. Yeah, but also I want to mention all of these live events or hybrid events where you get a chance to meet other accessibility professionals, share the frustrations, ideas, anything, basically, because many can be kind of lonely in their own company if they do not have a big team of other accessibility specialists around them. Or even if they do, it's very interesting to hear ideas from other people working in the same field.
Yeah. Nadezhda?
Yes. As I said, like we joined some time ago already, and I did my certifications also about 3 years ago, so almost expired. But back in the days, it wasn't any supporting course within membership. So you needed to take additional courses to prepare for certification. So within the time, the preparation for core competence appear as a part of a membership. And I think it's a great deal, because otherwise you need to certification itself, it's cost certain amount of money, and then you need to finance also your study material. So I think adding those courses, it's a very valuable thing. And as Timo mentioned, because he mentioned everything, I do like, and I really like this mechanism of supporting your certification. So basically you have the opportunity to do it only once, stress once, sit your exam once, and then within 3 years, collect your credits, the points, through your personal development and sharing knowledge, and organically, sustainably support your certification. So you don't need to pay additional fees like as any other exams you do, like our certifications, but you kind of organically growing, sharing, learning, and like staying certified professional. So I do really like these mechanisms.
Mm-hmm. And I know we do have members, and we have one of them is in our advisory council, so it always reminds me of him, but who actually prefers to redo the exam. So it's possible to just retake the exam. Then that comes with a cost, because there are administrative costs around that. But we do actually have, I can't say the percentage, I think it's low, but I think that's interesting, that in kind of, I mean, and these people are keeping updated and do training and events and so on, but still they think it's a good thing to retest themselves, because then we have updated the exam, and it's kind of a good kind of empowerment to know that, yes, I can still do this and I know what I'm talking about, and it's kind of interesting. So they challenge themselves by doing the exam again and again and again. I think that's fascinating. I couldn't do that, I think, or I would prefer to collect the cakes at least. But it's interesting that people kind of go through this path in different ways. So if we look into the future, Malin was talking about a lot of events and things we want to do, and we have this workshop series. That is one of the things that people nowadays, at least in Europe, mention as one of the really coolest things, that they can meet other stakeholders and go to kind of events where members are guaranteed. Then we let people in if we have room for them, but it's kind of an exclusive thing. In the future, what would you like us to do more? I mean, it could be in general, but maybe the Nordic chapter in particular. So any topic you would like us to focus on, or any new items or new activities you would like to see, Annika?
Well, of course, more webinars, maybe even more advanced webinars on topical subjects. I can't mention anything at the moment, but maybe it would be a good idea to have a member survey to gather ideas on the topics. what people are interested in, to have like more advanced webinars on more difficult topics, since most are quite into accessibility and know the basic stuff. And also maybe some other types of possibilities to gather around together with other accessibility specialists, especially in the Nordic area, to maybe discuss the shared frustrations when it comes to legislation and standardization and for example, the national legislation in the Nordic countries. It's often important to understand the legislation also in other Nordic countries, since we do projects. For example, a customer might have an online shop in all Nordic countries, and they need to understand all the legislation in all the countries and who are the supervising authorities and all of that. So it would be very important to share that information also within this community.
Yeah, very, very good. So we do member service, and it's interesting that we always get, it's kind of two things that always go back, or come back to us. It's one is we need much more advanced things, super technical. It needs to be very, very nitty-gritty. And then, we have so many in our organization who's new to this. You need to take care of the journey. You have people starting, so we really need to do both, I guess. So, but I agree with you. We could do even more detailed things, but we also, I think we still have to keep kind of the broader perspective as well. Nadezhda, what would you like to see us focus on in the future?
Yeah, I have maybe many suggestions for improvements, so maybe I should join the committee.
Yeah, please do.
But I am a big fan of those workshops which IAAP is doing. I think it's an amazing opportunity to meet the colleagues, the members, and other stakeholders in the field. And I actually also like, as we did it yesterday, that we actually had a blend of people, not only members, not only monitoring agencies, but people who are just interested in accessibility, but not yet part of the organization. And I think it's broadened perspective, and I do hear the feedback, like how eye-opening it is. So I do like to continue this practice, because it definitely bring awareness, and it's kind of, it's actually fits both, right? Like it's kind of giving the overview for people who new to the field, but also through the discussions, like meaningful discussions we have, it's actually deepening the knowledge which we commonly share. So I would definitely recommend to continue. And I would love to see another preparation course for a technical exam, for web accessibility specialist exam. That would be also helping the companies saving some fees for preparation. So yeah, that would be very helpful.
Yeah, so that brings me back to kind of thanking our sponsors again, because the reason we can do workshops like this is that we have sponsorship. So thank you to all our sponsors and also our co-hosts to making sure that happens. And also when it comes to the training, there is kind of a balance for IAAP not to compete with our own members. So it's kind of a longer discussion, but yes, we would like to do more training, and we are preparing more training, not specifically in the Nordics, but at global level, and there will be more certificates, so smaller kind of stepwise bonus to do this professional education or professional development. So we are moving in that direction. But at the same time, we want to make sure that the market is still there and that training providers are earning money on providing their training. So it's kind of a balance there. But I hear you. And I think it would be a good idea that IAAP also provided training. So, but that's kind of a long discussion. But Timo, what would you like to see us focusing on in the future? What do you
I can also agree that events like this, live events overall, would be helpful, and it would be nice to get the community together to discuss over a topic. And I know that there are, especially now, since we are approaching the deadline of the Accessibility Act in June, so topics related to that, and the standardization process is ongoing, topics related to that. There are several things to discuss, And I especially like these workshops discussing the interpretation of standards and how to, for example, how to evaluate, for example, the devices which are now in the scope of the Accessibility Act. And these are kind of a new thing related to accessibility. Yeah, because the work that has been done so far is heavily focused on web content. And as much as I love the web content accessibility guidelines, there are also other things that we should probably discuss, especially related to the devices and the overall user experience of the devices, and what are the key points regarding accessibility related to how a device or a service should be able to, or should be accessible so that people can actually use it with or without assistive technologies. So yeah, something like that. So discussion meetings that can be online, that can be on site, but overall like more interaction within the community.
And broadening the perspective, kind of going beyond web and to other things. So we started a discussion on mobile app certification and or training sessions. So that is kind of an ongoing process. It takes time to create professional certification the way we do it. That is internationally recognized and based on the ICE standards. So it's not something we just kind of, okay, we want to do this and then we can jump on it. It takes a lot of time, much more than I understood when we started doing professional certification. But that is an ongoing effort. And this year we also have a budget for doing some of the smaller certificates, so we can actually add things on top of the certifications we already have. So it's exciting times, and I hope that we can respond to some of your wish lists at least. And I will now open the floor for questions from the audience. So I have one. So how did you convince your management that this was a good idea to become a member of IAAP? And you're just smiling. But because you are not the persons with the budgets in your organizations, right? So you had to convince somebody. How did you convince them?
I think that it was our team manager who wanted to do that, because he understood how important it is for us as a company and to prove our customers our worth. So it needed someone who can then convince the upper management.
But that was the UX team managers. It wasn't the sales or marketing people. It was the actual subject matter expert team who convinced management somehow.
Yes. Mm-hmm. But I understand that it was a pretty easy process. So it was easy to convince upper management.
Maybe we can interview that person then to get to know how that happened.
Yeah.
And Timo?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see it as difficult at all. So that was quite straightforward, because, for example, if you want to do public sector projects, then you actually need to get certified, and you get the certification discount, and you can always also use that as a marketing way of telling that your organization has certified professionals, and that side also is important. But especially the certification and being able to get your professional certified, then that actually is because that is becoming very, very important in public sector projects. So that alone, I think, will convince them. So
the door opener is the certification, and then the membership kind of follows naturally into that. Or is it the discount piece that you kind of, how do you connect the two? Because certification is one thing, but membership is another. So
yeah, I think it combines those both sides. So of course you can get certified without becoming a member, but then you lose all the support that the certified professionals get from the membership, and also the marketing potential of the membership itself.
Yeah, so a combination, like a package. So Nadezhda, was it you who managed to get it?
I haven't started it, but I inherited it. And we also extended the amount of seats in the company in our organizational membership. But it's driven again, from both sides by our accessibility experts who would like to be certified. So the demand is growing, but it also comes from the business needs. So it's a both way street. So yeah, we have this also circle of accessibility specialists. We are growing. We would like to have more certified people excited about that. So we are growing in that way.
Okay, and I know that your marketing team did reach out to media and got some journalists interested in this, and they didn't really show up today, but we have, at least you have this connection, so maybe they will write about the event afterwards, and that, I mean, that's a helpful thing. So I think they kind of understood the sales value of having this event, which is
Definitely.
good stuff. Yeah. Okay, do we have any questions in the order? Yes, we do.
Hi, Daniel Koskinen from Go4 and the IAAP Nordic Advisory Council. Just I thought not really a question, but a comment to the previous question. 2 employers ago, I was in a situation where I was the only accessibility expert in the organization, and but I mean, I wasn't yet certified. There was talk that I might get certified soon. But again, back to the marketing perspective, in a situation where the organization does not yet have any certified professionals, it's something that they can say that we are committed to this thing, that we are a member of this organization. And it's better than just saying that, oh, well, we have a few people who want to be certified.
Yeah. So kind of a bridge into the real thing. That's an interesting sales perspective. Never thought about that. Thank you, Daniel. Any other question or comment from the audience? I know it's getting late, but you look like you're still awake, everyone. So maybe everyone in the room is a member already, so then you don't have any questions around this, I guess. So we have one more question in the Q&A, and Rachel is still typing, so there may be more, but coming up. But what about the pricing? So how did you? Yeah, how did you? This is a long one. How did you decide the number of employees that could be part of the roster, what you call the roster? So how did you decide on the member level, so to speak? How do you pick the numbers, I think is the question. Did you just start with the lowest and move on, or was it the number of people who are actually having accessibility in their role, title, or how does that decision making happen? I think that's
maybe I can start, because we definitely started from lower amount of seats to the going this ladder up, and because it doesn't make any sense for a company to pay membership if there are no people getting certified, right, or already certified. So the demand was increasing, and we increased the amount of seats as well. So we would like to utilize what we're paying for. Yes.
Yeah, and I think so. I often got the question: so is it the number of staff, or the size of the company? It's not. So you can be a super big company and still just have a couple of seats if you like. But normally it kind of grows then with time and with demand. And it's interesting to see that maybe people who are not really doing accessibility may benefit the most of being a member, because you have all this the connections and the possibility to ask questions to people all over the world, and you can share knowledge and really reach out to people that you do not know, but you get to know them because of the membership. And I mean, we use it as experts, and we can get information from anyone, anywhere, because somebody, I'm sure, has already seen this particular difficulty that just one specific user with one specific combination of versions of assistive technology and browsers and so on. And we have discovered this, and did anyone else look at it, and how was that? So we can share things and get our research much more valid and scientific and statistically valid by sharing our knowledge and experiences with people all over the world. So that is kind of the specialist part of the member benefits. Whereas when you may be new to the accessibility world, then the member benefits may be more of the webinars and the archives and the resources and all of that. So I think there's something for all levels, which means that if you want to have slightly more seats than you maybe think about in the beginning, that may be even more beneficial kind of learning curve of the company. So I think we need to say thank you to our panelists with that, because we are really moving into the last bits and pieces here. So thank you very much. Applause, please. You will get this one. If you want, you can pick and choose. Thank you. So with that, we are wrapping up today's event. Thank you everyone for contributing with good questions and being so energetic the whole day. It has been a pleasure, of course. I just want to market a little bit of the next IAAP EU event, which has the same, more or less the same concept, but that is a full day workshop on site in Brno in the Czech Republic, so Central Europe this time. And we're really excited to kind of go east. It's the first time. The spring events usually kind of tour, so we have been in many different places, and now we go to the Czech Republic, so that's exciting. And then the second day, there is a full day external event, just like this one. We have also a cool exhibition, because we have Amazon as our main sponsor, and that means that they are showing all their cool stuff. So that's a little bit of extra in the Czech Republic, so please check that out. And I know Rachel will share the link in the chat, and we also have a QR code here if you're interested. And this, of course, you can find on the global IAAP website under regional events. And again, I want to thank our sponsors. I need to say this many times, but it is essential, and we are truly grateful to Nitor, our silver sponsor, and to GoFor and Vincit, who are our two bronze sponsors. And it's because of them that we can make this free of charge for everyone. So thank you very much for supporting us. And thank you everyone else for being here, and Tieto for being the co-host, and to our tech team, lovely Jakob and Tomas, who has made everything work in the room, and Rachel and Karen somewhere in the universe in the US, up extremely early this morning to make sure that we are also live on Zoom. And then we have fantastic captionists and sign language interpreters, and I'm sorry I don't have the names, but we love you all. I know you've been doing a great job. So thank you everyone. Go home, make something accessible. See you next time.